All right, this is my grandpa, Bill Mathebe, and this is his legacy video. Okay, Grandpa, what is your full name and why did your parents select this name for you?
My name is William George Mathebe, and I'm named after my grandpa, George. My grandpa's name was George. So,
Did you ever have a nickname?
Bill.
Bill? When and where were you born?
I was born in Green Bay on June 28, 1936.
And you just had a birthday, so how old are you now?
82.
82. And how did your family come to live? Are they from Brillion, or where's your family from?
Well, my grandpa was from Germany, but my folks were from Brillion here. My mother was a Reichert, married my dad in 1934, 33, somewhere in there.
And your dad, he was a first generation immigrant or that came here?
I'm not sure. My dad was born, I'm sure my dad was born in the United States, but my grandpa came from Germany, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, what was the house that you lived in? What was that like, and how many rooms? Did you have electricity?
We had electricity, but we didn't have running water. We didn't have toilets. It was hard life. It was a hard life. My mother had a hard life. There were 5 brothers and 1 sister, and no running water. Milked the cows by hand, and she worked hard on the farm, and I don't know how she ever did it to raise all us kids, and I really felt sorry for her. She always looked out for me. I guess I was one of the favorites. So whenever I had something going on at school, she was always there.
When did your parents pass away?
Well, my dad passed away, I don't know exactly when, in 73 or somewhere in there, my dad, and my mom passed away in 83. She was 83 years old. Or it was even later than that.
Yeah, I think it was, because I was around maybe like 93.
Yeah, 93. Or
95.
Yeah. I don't have the numbers right off my top of my head.
All right. What kind of games did you play growing up?
Well, I played a lot of baseball, football, basketball, and later on I played golf, and I was a pretty good bowler, pretty good golfer. I can't do that anymore. My back bothers me, and I don't know, it's not good, but I'm 82 years old, and I gotta accept that, so.
Yeah. What's your earliest childhood memory?
Oh, my mother.
Yeah.
My mother was a great gal. We had to work hard, or we didn't eat, and we didn't eat real high on the hog. I don't know, you don't even know anything about side pork. That was a delicacy. That was like, oh, it's part of the bacon family on the pig, and oh man, we were always hungry. Boys, as they're growing up, they were always hungry, all of us. So.
Let me just make sure this is still on here. Okay. What was school like for you?
School?
Yeah.
I wasn't a scholar, but I did okay. I was the class president, student council president, prom king, football captain. I did well. I was pretty popular in high school. There were 55 or 56 of us in my class, and being a prom king, it was popular. And we didn't do well in football. We did okay in basketball and baseball. My younger brother, Dick, was a very good athlete. He was probably a little better than I was in baseball and basketball, but he was a junior and when I was a senior, and we did well. So we didn't win. We won our fair share of games, but we didn't win too many championships. So.
And that was at Brillion?
In Brillion High School.
Did you have a special place that you liked to go as a child, or when you were younger, that you can remember?
Well, I guess in the barn to work and to school. Other than that, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What world events had the most impact on you while you were growing up?
What?
What kind of world events happened when you were growing up? Like any wars or any big world events? Things that happened that were significant?
Run that by me again. What?
Were there any like big events that happened when you were younger? Like going on around the world?
I can remember the end of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. I know we went to the pier. I can remember the celebration they had in the pier. That sticks in my mind as a big event.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't have to go to. I was in the National Guard for 7 years. I didn't have to go to any war or anything like that, but we had our weekly meetings, and my older brother Bob and my younger brother Dick, and we all belonged to the same unit in Neenah. So.
Well, that's good that you didn't have to go to any of the wars. When and how did you meet your spouse, Grandma?
I met her on a blind date. The first time I saw her was in 1952. It was at a baseball game in Brillion here. She was with a friend of mine at the time. We were both. She was 15 and I was probably 15. But we met on a blind date in late in September, or the start of our junior year. She went to East Deeper High School, and I went to Brillion here, and we hit it off pretty good right away.
What was it like when you proposed? Where and when did that happen?
Well, that happened in probably 1955, and it was a great moment. She was quite a very, very pretty girl. We had a lot of pretty girls in my class, but none of them could beat her. She was the best. She was quite a doll.
Mm-hmm. She always was.
Yeah.
What do you believe is the key to a successful marriage?
Oh, being honest, being fair, being loving, and respect each other and love each other. We like to dance. Oh, we love to dance. Yeah, she was quite a gal.
Mm-hmm. She sure was.
Yeah.
What was your profession and how did you choose it?
My profession came after I was out of high school. I got hired at the Brilliant Iron Works as a serviceman, and then I got into the pattern shop, and shortly after I got an apprenticeship in the pattern shop and moved on up. I was good at it. I think I was the best pattern maker Brilliant Iron Works ever had. Now I'm not bragging because anytime there was a tough job or a new job, they handed it to me. And after so many years, I graduated on my apprenticeship, and then I got to be a lead man, and then I got to be the supervisor in the pattern shop, and I was superintendent of the pattern shop for over 30 years. I worked at the Brilliant Iron Works for 45 years and 7 months. I retired before I was 65. I had 30 to 35 people working for me, and I had a great crew. They were a good bunch of people.
Hmm. What is one thing you want most, or let me try that again. What is the one thing you most want people to remember about you?
I guess as being a pattern maker or pattern supervisor, none of them really knew what I really did down there in the early days, because all the old timers had passed away or retired, and I was good in sports. You know, I was good in bowling. One year, I don't know what year it was, I had a 735, 3 games, and I thought I was always going to have the highest score in the Mathiebe family, but my nephew David, he just had a 819. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. Let's see. How did you choose your children's names?
I'm not sure how it was. I guess Bert was, I had a good friend in the National Guard named Bert Gibson. He was always kind of a character, and that's how Bert got his name. Gail got her name from, it was a great friend of Marlis's in high school, Gail Lemke. And that's how Gail got her name. And Bruce, I don't know how we picked his name, but I don't know how that happened.
Could Grandma have children? Or what?
I don't know if it was, I think it was me. I'm not sure what all took place. My sperm count wasn't the best, and we tried real hard, but we had a good time trying. And she was quite a lover. Oh, lover, dancer, cook, baker, shopper, housekeeper, bookkeeper. She was the greatest.
She was. She really was. I have a lot of good memories.
Yeah, she was.
With Grandma. What is your earliest memory of me?
Well, the earliest memory of you, I got a big workshop in the basement. I know you were born on the 3rd of December. On that morning, a good friend of mine was killed in a snowstorm. But what I remember about you, when I was in my workshop, I always knew when you were here, when you were about 2 or 3 years old. I could hear you walking upstairs, tiptoeing around, and my hearing was good at that time, and I could always tell you were here. And you used to walk under that table in the kitchen, which is out there right now, and you never had to bend over. you could walk right under that table, and you were just quite a doll.
Aw, thanks. What's your favorite thing that we have done together, or that our family has done together?
I guess the favorite thing was go-kart racing. You were a real daredevil. The time that over at Hilbert, when you spun out and you were heading for that pond, and I swear that you were going to go right in the middle of the pond, and you spun that car around 180 degrees, and you created quite an excitement for the crowd. I'll never forget that. You did well, and Matthew did better, but in racing, but he raced more than you did. So that those days, every time I go gambling, I go through Shawano, and I can remember when we would go up there almost every Sunday, and to Bondwell, and you guys would race. So it was a lot of fun for me and Grandma.
Me too. I have a lot of memories.
Yeah.
Of the go-karting, all our trophies and everything. We have a lot of pictures. All right, then I have a few more questions. Of all the things you learned from your parents, which do you feel was the most valuable?
I guess to learn how to work. To learn how to work. We had to work or we didn't eat. After milking, we had to go out and shock grain, and we'd have to go up in the haymow and part the hay, and we had to work. We had to work. We knew that. We didn't have to be told. That was just part of our life. And I'm glad that I was born or raised that way, because I appreciate what I got later as far as work hard, and that carried me through up until I retired. I always worked hard. I worked Saturdays and Sundays at the ironworks. Never got paid for that Saturday and Sunday. I was on salary. But at the end of the year, the boss always remembered me with a bonus, a nice size bonus. One year, I got a bonus that was more than what the average person earned in a whole year. So, and Grandma liked to take that check to the bank.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah.
I remember when you would tell me that she would go shopping, and she would say that she saved how much money, and then you would say, well, where is it?
Well, we lived pretty good.
Yeah.
We didn't save a lot, but I had a good profit sharing, and I'm doing better than the average right now. I have no regrets.
Yeah, I think my dad learned that from you, his work ethic, and me and Matthew learned that from him. So I think that was passed down too. Are there any special heirlooms, photos, Bibles, or any memorabilia that has been passed down in your family that you have that you can remember?
A lot of pictures for both sides of our family, Marlis's side. And that plaque over there, that was from her uncle. This painting here, he painted. There's a couple more in the other room. Uncle Joe Straddle, he was a great, talented person. He was a painter. He had talent you wouldn't believe. So he painted on our garage door on Wisconsin Avenue. He painted a flower decoration, and one time Marlis had a tan pair of shoes that she scuffed. I don't know, dancing or whatever, high heels. And he painted that, and you couldn't tell after he got done where that scuff mark was. He was just a great man. Uncle Joe Straddle.
Are there any stories about famous or infamous relatives in your family that come to mind?
Famous relatives. Oscar, which was married to my dad's sister. He was the, I don't know what his position, if he was president of Cramp Construction, but they built the Highway 41 through Milwaukee, and he had a great job. He had his son and son-in-law worked for him, and Grandpa, my dad even worked for him for a while, but he made big money. And other than that, my mother, I'll never forget her. She just was the best. I don't know how she ever did it. With the money that they didn't have, we always had something to eat. And she worked hard in the barn, and I don't know how she did all the washing and the food, and I don't know. I did take her. I don't know if anybody, well, my brothers Dick and Mike were killed in car accidents. But after I retired, she liked to play cards, and she was good at it. So we took her to the casino a couple times, and I gave her $50. And she played the dollar machines, and I played the penny machines. I should have done it a lot more for what she all did for me. You know, you gotta keep that in mind as you get older. You gotta do more for your parents when you can, if you can, and when you can. After they're gone, then it's too late. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too late. I wish I could spend the day with her. I would take her to the casino, spend all day there with her, and my wife. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was quite a doll.
Well, you'll be able to when you see them again someday.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a favorite place to visit or travel as an adult?
Well, when you kids were younger, I don't remember if you went along. Well, no, you weren't. We go to Great America every summer. I had a supplier that I had in North Chicago, and he'd always buy us tickets with Bruce and Gail and Bert. We'd go down to Great America. I don't know how many years in a row we did that. And other than that, we did our fair share of traveling. We went to Hawaii. We went on a cruise.